I didn't plan on doing this today originally. Let me go fix that door. Kurt will yell at me otherwise. I can't have Kurt mad today because, well, I'll explain. He just likes that to cut down on the noise. So while we wait for a few of you to show up, assuming some people will, we won't do a whole lot until you guys are here because that's just the way this kind of works. You know, there's no point in me doing anything until I got some people on board. Hopefully we get some people on board. There's some people. What's going on, David? All right, now we're rolling. So this will be clutch cutting number 42. My day's going pretty good. A little busy, you know, so getting a lot of things. What's going on, Crypto Z? And looks like you've got a badge there saying you support us on YouTube. Thank you for that. I will tell you this, for all those who are some of our YouTube supporters, definitely check out our Patreon too. You don't get a whole lot for supporting us on YouTube, but you do for Patreon. So that would be an awesome way to get more content. So this clutch is an orange dream to a pastel inchy ivory. So everything should be yellow belly. There should be pastel in there, should be inchy in there, and there should be orange dream in there floating around. Kurt really wanted me to wait for him to cut this clutch, which he's going to be here on Tuesday. Obviously today's Sunday. The problem is, if you look at the thumbnail, one of them has already crawled out. So unfortunately, I've got to deal with this shit today. Cannot wait. Sorry, Kurt. Sorry, buddy. We're going to do this. So, what was it you said? Trying to move stuff around the snake room while watching 6 kids. Holy crap. That sounds like trying to herd cats, or I wouldn't even want to imagine. The only thing I had to do was fix some heat on one of the racks, and I've been going through and weighing babies and seeing what's ready to be posted so we can start getting some lists together for the new year, etc., etc. So we've got, I don't know, I didn't go through all of them yet, but we got enough babies to do 2 or 3 lists to get rolling. And then we got a bunch of them that are just right on the cusp of being ready. So we're going to have a lot ready to go. Yeah, he can help with the video on spirit. So let's go ahead and show you why. Oh, no problem, Zoju. Is that how I say that? Did I say that right, Zoju? Why we, let me have to turn this a little bit. Bear with me. Why we're going to go ahead and cut these now, because it's going to be crazy. Why did that not switch? There it went. Urgh, don't fall over on me, tripod. Hey, there we go. So as you can see, these things have already certainly begun to come out. Looks like 2 of them are actually all the way out. So the first thing we're going to do is try to get this holding rack out of there, mainly because I don't want a snake to get its head stuck in there. Now these are good healthy babies. They're actually about a day earlier than I'd expect, but that's okay. You first, buddy, because you're the one that's likely going to run in there. And you next, dude. And then all of you guys that are still in the egg. Gooey. I guess I should tell you too, we had I think 8 or 9 eggs from this clutch. Whatever we had, they all went, so we didn't lose any on this one. And that should be everybody. Because I left the 2 empties out. So, oh, sorry. Let me get on your nose there, bud. So we got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9, yep. So we're going to go ahead and look at now. I am not the world's greatest with Orange Dream, so it'll probably take me a while to get all these all the way identified. But let me run this to the side a little bit if I can. It might make my life a little easier. There we are. Hopefully that'll, you know what? Let's go a little higher angle for you guys. See if we can't give you a little bit better view of what's going on that way. There we go. That's probably a little bit better, right? See everything that way. So I probably won't be able to identify them 100% right away. I mean, this thing here is phenomenal. You know, there's some cool stuff in here. I can already tell you that. So let's go ahead and just get to snipping. I'm gonna bet that's got Orange Dream in it. I'm just a betting man. So what is the best combo I can get out of this clutch? That would be an Orange Dream, uh, Inchy, Yellow Belly, Pastel, I think, because it's Inchy, Ivory, Yellow Belly. So those are the three genes that play, plus Orange Dream. The worst thing I can make is a straight Yellow Belly, which so far I don't think we have any of that. I mean, that doesn't look too straight Yellow Belly to me, so that's what we're looking for. You can't hear anything. Oh, because you're hanging out the French Quarter. Yeah, well, I don't feel bad for you then. I was about to be like, try to see how we could fix that for you, but if you're hanging out the French Quarter, man, I don't have to feel bad for you not able to hear anything. This is going to be kind of a butchered up cutting because these eggs are already all just slashed. Still important to cut, mostly just to give them an exit, just in case they can't do it on their own. Most of these look like they could, but I have had a snake get all messed up before, so we are going to cut these. That one there. The head stamp on it looks pretty light. I mean, we'll have to just kind of wait till these are out to really know what we got. Some of these with the super light heads are going to be pretty easy to tell, you know. I just want to make sure they don't have their little heads stuck in there. Oh, this is going to be a little bit tedious. There we go. There you go, buddy. That's a cool snake. That's a really nice looking snake in there. And again, this is what clutch we're really looking for some keepers on. Let's go fix this one, give it a little bit of a better exit. Yeah, you're trying to pull back and you really can't, can you? There you can. All right, got that one good to go now. Whoop. Make you dizzy, snake. That one's definitely got Orange Dream. I can tell that from here. I'm not good at seeing Orange Dream, but just look at the coloration on that. That's just really nice. That thing's really cool. Definitely Inchy in there too. It's the first one I can look at. I mean, I'd say Inchy's probably here. Doesn't really strike me as being in this one right here too much, but we shall definitely see. But that one, there's Inchy on that one. This one, it's kind of hard to tell right now. Okay, you two who are out, go over here. Go over here with the ones who are done. Well, okay, we're going to do this one next. I just kind of flipped it over. Sorry, little buddy. As soon as he had a bigger exit, he stuck his head way out there. So this is a cool little snake too. Definitely Inchy in there. I don't see the Orange Dream coloration, but I can see the Inchy from a mile away. That's probably just an Inchy Yellow Belly there. If I was a betting man. That's probably got Inchy Yellow Belly plus some. So, I mean, you can kind of get a feel for what we're dealing with to an extent. I mean, you have to cut this close to the head, which I suppose you don't really have to do. Just be careful. You know, I mean, you're just making sure they have an opening. So, like right there, he's good to go. The rest of this is just cutting to C at this point. When a snake is this far out, you know they're ready to make the journey. So you can kind of, I can cut a little more than I normally do because I'm not too worried about scaring them out. That's a cool looking snake in there too. Hands are getting all gooey. Now this is one I definitely want to cut. I'm seeing some air bubbles getting blown there, which means it's still got its face somewhere down in the fluid. So hopefully it's still fine. We're going to give it a lot more room. There's its head. And that's another really nice one. I think that one's probably nicer, but man, they're close together on what they are. Woohoo! The good news is that means we'll probably get what we're after on this clutch for a holdback, which we'll have to sit down and really kind of. I know we probably want some Orange Dream combo stuff. The question is going to be, we wanting a male or we wanting a female? Probably a female, if I have my way about it. But I don't always get my way. Oh, that thing's cool. Look at there. That thing's nice. So I'll put that in there. So I expect all these guys will be out within the next 48 hours, give or take a little bit. Everything looks good. Everything looks really healthy. Everything looks exactly like what I'd want to see. So no complaints there. Give me 1 second and I will flip you back around. Set my happy butt down. Oh, sitting on the old computer back there. I don't want to do that. All right, so that, guys, is what we've got there for some. Let me put these legs back down so you get a weird, don't have this weird view of me. There we are. Woo! Orange Dream Desert Ghost would be nice. And it's yeah, but when you get the Orange Dream, I think you're going to have less washout, more orange color brightness with that combo. You know, I'm a huge fan of lesser, but this is, you know, Orange Dream has been not as bad as Clown for us, but it has not been our best gene to work with. We've got one female who lies to us every year. You'd swear she's going to go, and she doesn't. So we certainly need to get some more Orange Dream in our collection, but we're not wanting to have a single gene. Oh, you just yawned for the first time ever, and I missed it on camera. Now, that thing's definitely got the butterfly head stamp, the one that's crawling out. Now, we'll see if it crawls all the way out. If it does, I'll take it out for you. So I think it's going to exit the egg while we're sitting here talking. So we definitely need some different females in our collection or a power male. The problem with this clutch from a male standpoint is simply, you know, go back in now, simply that at this point in time, with a few exceptions, we're trying not to keep any, it's not going to be an Orange Dream indicator. I think it goes with some inchy combos. So it's just the head stamp gets changed in a bunch of things. It looks like a butterfly. I can't remember what the exact combo was. I mean, some of that I have to look back up. I mean, my brain can only hold so much and it's full. It's been full for a long time. I have to push crap out. I'm really not that smart, y'all. I mean, I'm not dumb, but I'm definitely not a genius or anything. Hoping that thing comes out. I'm kind of just getting enamored watching it. But with our males, we really want males. We do have that one coming our way. That'll help out a lot. But that one wasn't Orange Dream, was it, JoJo? Remind me what it is coming my way. So I've got that snake coming my way. There's another snake coming my way. And then there's a third one I know of right now we need to go look at and possibly get. So we've got several things showing up. Yeah, super inchy fire lesser. And that male fits the bill for what we want. Because what we really want is we don't want males with the ability to make a true normal. If it can make a recessive, that's at least a het, I'll take it. Or we want a super combo in there somewhere, or super in there, or an allelic combo, you know. That way, as we carry on through our breeding plans, you know, we will avoid making the $20 normal ball python. Not because there's anything wrong with normals, but from the standpoint of if I can have a clutch that guarantees me at least a base morph plus a bunch of combos, that's better than a normal. You know, when you start running a super, all your combos get better. Your odds just get better, plus the no normals. So that is going to be the future of how we try to do things when we pick our males. Our females, not so much, because you're going to have a lot more females than males, so one male gets that job going. So, I understand. I'm glad you're not keeping him. I'm actually excited to get that because Kurt really likes Inchy, and we probably need to get Fire and do a few more things. So we'll see you, David. So it's going to be helpful for us down the road. You know, one thing I learned picking my pairings this season was I need a few more males. You know, we really kind of ran out of steam on what males we wanted to use in certain places. So with that, I know that I've got to add more males. It's not optional. It's, you know, and so we got 2 males coming from the outside I know of, possibly a third, and that will really help because we can get them ready in a year's time. We've also got some males we're raising up. So hopefully, we have some more males next year to use, and that'll be certainly helpful. But it is a thing. So yeah, oh yeah, Skylar, oh yeah. I don't own an ultrasound machine. So when you see us do ultrasound videos, we're actually using Anna's, which is she's on here. I was about to say JoJo. I was about to say Wolf Guy, so it's JoJo, or it's JoJo's. I can't remember whose it is, but Anna and JoJo come down, and we use their machine to do that. I have never ever owned an ultrasound machine. It is certainly not something. JoJo says it's hers. It is certainly not something that you have to have. It's a tool, like, can you build a house without, well, that's a bad example, because it's a tool. It's a tool that a lot of people use, and, like, if I'm being honest, I don't see a huge need for it. I feel like that tool would be better served if you're trying to breed to catch the time. Like, I think we as humans and mammals have a real hard time, not thinking about breeding at the right time. And the right time to breed is when the snakes pair, when they'll lock. That's the right time to breed. I want you to think, man, we had a retained sperm clutch this year from 2 years ago. Okay? So it's not like they have to breed in this window to get pregnant. They're going to hold that genetic material. So when they're locking, that is the right time to breed. So it's not a problem at all. But it does help to know what plan your female is going to go, learn what you're seeing. I mean, it's a good tool, but it's not a necessary tool. So, see, I don't know how it would really help JoJo, because, I guess it may tell you when a female, maybe you should stop pairing her. I don't know. That'd be about the best thing that it's going to do, because I could pair one this month and she could have babies 14 months after from that pairing. So it doesn't tell you now's the time. There's no magic time to catch it. Like, okay, the follicles are at 14 millimeters. I have to breed it right now. It's just not the case. It's just not how it works. They're going to, the time to breed is when they lock. That's the time to breed. But she's always ready. She's always ready. That's the thing. If she's locking, she's ready. She wouldn't let that male lock unless she was ready. The follicles may not be there, but she's ready to accept his genetic material. What she does with it down the road, that's up to her. And there's some ways to prevent overbreeding. One, just monitor your breeding. Another thing that we have started doing is as we rotate through our breeding, we typically don't try to get a male anymore to more than one female in a breeding session. And we don't try to get one male to 3 females in a week. I just don't really see the point to that. So it is cool to watch them grow. It is cool. So, and see, it does, yeah. So what we'll do is we'll put a male here, and then the next week he'll go here, and then the next week he'll go here, and we'll start back over. Sometimes we'll get a male to 2 in 1 week if we really want to, but we've kind of found that we just kind of go one male to one female a week. Lots of people, I only breed a female 3 times. I've seen all of that, and for some people that works great. For me, I'm going to breed that female as long as she's accepting material, or until she shows me signs that it's pointless, like signs of ovulation or signs of clear building, like we're past that point in time to need to do that. And they'll kind of stop breeding by then anyway. So, which we're going to start our pairing. I thought about going ahead and starting it today, but I'll probably wait. So, I do give them a little time off. So what we'll typically do on a typical week, if we were in pairing season, which I'm still kind of waiting, and it is normal for a snake to only eat live prey. It's not uncommon at all. I would feed on, let's say I feed on Thursday night, right? I'm going to let them eat on Thursday, let them be on Friday. Saturday, I'm going to pair them. Okay, they all get paired up. I'm going to leave them in there till Wednesday, and on Wednesday, pull them out. If I find out they're locked and done, I'll pull them out anyway. Otherwise, I'll pull them out on Wednesday, let them, rest that night, feed on Thursday, and pair either Friday or Saturday. I like to give them a day to rest, but yeah, they get a few days off. They're on about 4 or 5 days off, 2 to 3 days. So, that's just. And that's why I'm not trying to get 3 breeds in 1 week. It's just, by the time he's down to that 3rd lady, it ain't doing much good. Now, also, you got to watch for males because some of them will go off food. And there are males that we have to rotate out. We will stop breeding them for a few weeks to get food in them or do some other things because it becomes absolutely. Did you crawl out of that egg while I wasn't looking? It does become absolutely necessary. Why, you did. Oh, you're so gooey. This thing's gooey. That's the really one that just came out. Just born. Literally just crawled out of the egg. It's dripping shit down my hand. Super gooey. But man, that's a cool looking snake, right? I just dig that thing. So we're going to hope you're a girl because, yeah. Temp gun's a lot better tool. I think if I had to pick a tool, can you live without a temp gun? Oh, yeah, probably. I mean, you probably can live without one. You cannot live without thermostats in this business, and you cannot live without a way to monitor that temperature. Let me find some sanitizer really quick. I got goop all over me. But you can live without a temp gun. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. They're not that expensive. I'd say that's one you want to have. It's just easy to kind of spot check a few things with that. So definitely get a temp gun. Yeah. That's kind of, I'm with Jojo on that. So temp guns are important. Get a temp gun. We got a few of them laying around somewhere. It didn't have to be a crazy, super high-end one. But so a temp gun and a thermometer do the same thing. They just do it in a different way. A thermometer, you're going to put in one space typically and see that. The temp gun, you can kind of spot check your temps. Just make sure things are where they should be. It's a useful thing to have. I probably should use one more often than I do if I'm being blunt. But that is one I think that you probably need to have laying around somewhere. Temp gun, scale, those are things you definitely need to have if you're going to be breeding, you know. So you're in the US, UK. You can be confused. So just a few. Threw my scissors on the ground. So that's a few things. So any other questions before we jump off of here and slide our happy ass on over to Patreon for a little while and kind of talk about, well, I don't know yet. Maybe talk about the special. So, you know, Skylar, I've heard that. And I've had some pies that seem to take a long time to get ready. But then I've got a set of pies now as I was going through weighing babies that the whole clutch all but one is already ready to go. And they weren't big babies. Like they were babies you thought would take a while. It's kind of hit and miss, but pies, some people kind of say pies are finicky. I think that might be just urban legend, but I don't know. I've had finicky pies, but I've had finicky spiders. I've had finicky about everything. So yeah, I'd hope that's so a spider banana. Wait a minute here. Let me make sure I'm reading that right. A spider banana exanthic. Is it a visual exanthic? SK male to normal. That should go pretty well. I mean, you're not going to get visual SKs out of that, but you are going to get spiders and bananas and spiders and spider bananas all het for exanthic. So for a long-term project, it should do pretty good. Yes, Stacy on Wheels. You have to rejoin Patreon. Why wouldn't you? It is awesome. Plus, the Discord's a lot better probably than when you left. Discord's got a lot of people on it. It's doing great. Visual Exanthic, yeah, it's going to be a good pairing, but you're probably not going to get Visual Exanthic. So that's a good pairing, in my opinion, if you want to make banana Exanthics or spider Exanthics. I like spider Exanthics when I do banana Exanthics. It's just me. But yeah, so. And a Visual Exanthic pastel, now you're talking. That with that spider banana Exanthic would be really, really nice. Again, I don't really want the banana in my Exanthic. It's just a personal flavor, you know. But as far as a normal bred to a pastave or a spider, I mean, if it was me, I'd do the pastave. If that's what my choices were. The reason for that is because you're going to get pastels Mojaves and pastel Mojaves versus just spiders. So I think you get higher variety. I mean, none of those genes are going to be super expensive, right? But you have a shot at combos and some like everything else. and a less shot at normals. You're basically doing some 1 in 4 odds all the way across the board. 1 in 4 at normals, pastels, mojaves, and also pastaves. Or the spider 1 in 2 normals and spiders. So I would definitely do the pastave if it was me. So, all right, anything else before we hop up off of here? Oh yeah, you can feed rat. Definitely. I actually just did that the other day. I mean, I always joke when I get the rat people about like, like, oh, what do you do for ear infections or what do you do for this? Look, we don't give any medical treatment to our rodents at all. We don't. If a rodent comes down with a medical issue, rather than take it to a vet and spend several $100 on a breeder rodent, wherever it's going to be, we just feed it and replace it. They were bred for food anyway. So at that point in time, when they can't perform that function, they get bred off or they get fed off. That may sound cold, that may sound heartless, but it's the babies. As far as temperament, I don't give a shit about the temperament of the rat. I don't really care. We're breeding food. If I was breeding pets, maybe I would care, but we're not. We're breeding feeders. What I look at. Oh, I know what Kurt looks at is when he's doing it without uh, just him. It's not anybody else messing with the pot. What he'll do is he'll monitor the output of the mother. What I mean is the output of babies. And when he sees that baby output begin to drop, we go ahead and replace her with a new one, and then she goes into the feed-off bin. So honestly, when they start to reach the end of their fertility levels, like maybe she's a female who's dropping 14 babies, and we're getting 12 to 14, and then it's 10 to 12, and then maybe it's 8, she's gone, and she's replaced, right? Because it's all about keeping the maximum yield with the minimum amount of rodents. So that's kind of, yeah. And it is, I mean, most rats in the wild wouldn't live long enough to get a tumor, they just wouldn't. So, yeah, best pairing for a male leopard head pied blackhead wouldn't be a bad idea. If you're wanting to go dark, man, I am a big fan of using mahogany because the super form is already that super dark chocolatey brown, and that means that you can take that and then you can work that in with things like GHI. If you ever seen a Suma GHI, also known as the Abyss, look that up. You're going to get that super dark. You can run Suma with black pastel. Again, we're going to get to super dark. There's a lot of ways to get to that super dark with the baseline being your super mahogany. So if it was me and you want to go dark, you need mahogany. That's just where I'm at on that. Now, everything else can play well with that mahogany, but that's how you're going to get to your jet black. It's like Suma GHI or whatever, Oh, yeah. Whoever Anna's talking to, I agree with her 100%. And not to turn this into an ad for Patreon, but let me turn this into an ad for Patreon. You can buy, like she's saying, you can buy and sell snakes there from not just me, from all of the people who are there. It's a nice, friendly community that tries to help each other out. A lot of people post their animals there first, I will post my animals when they're available there before anywhere else, give you all first crack at them. And that's every single animal. We run monthly specials. So there's a very active Discord where people get to chit, chat, talk, and share. Think about it like one of the good Facebook groups, but minus the assholes. So if you could take a Facebook group and you could subtract all of the know-it-all, egotistical assholes that honestly most of them don't know much, you would have what is in our Discord. That's the goal of that Discord, right? So, and thank you there, Tesla's Geckos, for joining. I did see that. One thing, too, for you guys on Discord or on Patreon, sorry, if you message me on Patreon, understand Patreon's messaging system is horrible. So just ask somebody for my phone number, and I give it out all the time on there, and you can just text me because that's the easiest way to get a hold of me, easiest way to get me to respond back to you. Facebook Messenger is not going to get it done, and Patreon Messenger is not going to get it done. Text me, though, and it certainly will, and that's the easiest way to do it. So that's awesome, Robert, and thank you. We are right by Fort Riley, so we do love our vets, plus my family. I never did military. I did law enforcement, still am for a short time, but a lot of my family was military. I had a grandfather who was at Iwo Jima. I had a father who was a combat veteran as well. And then my brother was in for a short time. That didn't work out quite as well. But so we have a long list of vets in our family. So pretty cool thing. So, all right, guys. Well, if that is all we got, I'm going to hop up off of here and I'm going to slide over to Patreon. So, hey, $10 is a great level. Like, Anna and I are talking. We're going to sit down. We're going to probably redo some of that. Anna really helps run a lot of that Patreon and Discord stuff. She's invaluable to us on that. Oh, thank you very much there, Zoju, for joining us. So she's a gatekeeper on a lot of things and problems, and thank God we got her with us. With that, we will be redoing some of that here soon. Especially, you're going to see a lot of change, I think, come next summer. There's a lot of things that I really want to do. I just don't have the time. But we're going to get there, right? And unfortunately, JJ Balls, we cannot ship to the UK right now. I do apologize. It just kind of is what it is. But once we get that time where we can revamp, we're going to revamp things like the tiers. We're going to revamp some of the stuff that happens with those tiers, possibly. We're going to revamp the amount of media we're putting out. If you guys have noticed, there's been a lot more videos lately. It's kind of sporadic. We're going to try to make that the normal, right? We're going to put that much content plus on other areas. We're really going to try to truly push for this to be the thing. On top of that, too, somebody mentioned the cheeky discount in the UK. If there was a way to let me discount UK, I probably would do that. I would discount foreign countries I can't purchase. But it doesn't have a way for me to do that. So that's just, you're just signing up when you're in another country and you're missing one of the benefits. And I apologize, but you get the rest of them. You do get that. But we really want to see this take off. I got into reptiles, and I know there's been a few places out there. They're like, oh, he should have more than he does, and blah, 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 blah. Because I don't really know what that was ever all about. People got pissed because they don't understand English, I guess. But the fact of the matter is, when we first started this, we didn't have much of a plan. It kind of started as it could just slowly matriculate its way to get there, and then it would supplement my income. I wasn't due to leave. I'm leaving my career 8 years earlier than I intended. Okay. So when that became evident that was going to be needed for a multitude of reasons, then I had to really start to plan this and start putting some thought into it. We've only really been doing that for a handful of years. So, but we still know exactly where we're going to be at. See, American candy, that is interesting to me because I've always heard that American candy sucks compared to like German candy. And I know I missed a comment up here I wanted to read. It was 609 Raider. Prior military service, ever since I started keeping and breeding, help my PTSD symptoms and change my life. Absolutely, my brother. That makes total sense to me. One thing for me is I'm not going to sit here and claim I got PTSD because I don't. But there is a touch of probably the cumulative stress syndrome, things like that. That's, I have to be very careful how I say this because, that's probably not completely there yet. And the thing that I have found is animals of any kind really help to keep that away. Not make it gone, but like just keep that away. It's that moment whenever you, and you'll probably relate to this, Raider, if you're still on here. Everybody else probably think I'm nuts. But that moment whenever, like, you have something that, I don't want to say it puts me back, like, in the moment completely, but it does on certain physiological responses in my body. Whether it's my heart rate, my blood pressures, and things like that, and where my brain is. And even though my brain knows, part of my brain doesn't know, like, and then the dog will come over and lay up on my leg or sit on my leg, and then it's just, you know what I mean? Just kind of whoosha. It's good. It's good then, right? So animals certainly play a huge, huge role, I think, in that. And, one of the reasons I'm leaving when I'm leaving is because I'm very functioning right now, but if I stayed for another 10 years, I don't know if I would like myself anymore with how much carrying all of that trauma would eventually do to me, and so my intent is to not do that and not carry, I've seen enough gunshot victims for my life, I guess you could say. I've seen enough families destroyed by various things in my life, and I'm good. I'm good with that. Uh, I don't need any more. So anyway, I feel you, my man. I feel you. Animals certainly bring me when I'm here. I don't need to be here. They bring me back to here, right? That's what they do. So, uh, there you go, Skylar. Now that's something that I've never been diagnosed with, although I've been accused of having ADHD a lot of times. But it certainly does, Somebody just farted in here. Oh, you got all these things going. It's not that loud for you to hear them fart constantly. It's terrible. It does help just keep you, I can kind of focus on one thing for a while and do that and focus on another thing. And it's fun. It also teaches me patience that I typically do not have. When you're having to work a project for 5 years to get a result you want, that's patience. I'm looking at an animal right now that's born in 2019, and it was born from, oh man, I don't remember what the parents exactly were. Probably a black pastel banana that I think I made, bred to a calico, yes, a Blitz calico that I made, and now I'm holding on to that, and now it's old enough to finally breed this year. I mean, that's a long-term thing, right? So, yeah, they definitely help calm people, whether it's a snake or whether it's a cat or a dog. It's just, I think it's that animal-human interaction, I really think it is. And I would think that if you would go down through the list of people who have a lot of snakes, if we were all honest with ourselves, a whole bunch of us, probably are people who are really into animals in some way, shape, or form, all, not all's a strong word, right? Many of them, and many of us probably have something that they help fill a gap, fill a need, right? That's just, that's just my feel. I also sleep better when I have my dogs, or a dog. I sleep more safely, if that makes sense. I don't sleep as light, feeling like I need to wake up, or, wondering, like, especially in places with lots of people, like when I travel and I'm in a hotel or a resort or anything like that, I'm not going to sleep well, anymore. But if the dog's there, I do. Because I know that dog. I know he will let me know if anything is not correct. And then I can deal with it. Otherwise, I feel like I'm going to not be able to deal with something that's not correct. Weird, I know, but that's, yeah. He ain't a big dog, but you don't need to be big. He just needs to wake me up. And I can handle whatever, right? So, and I'm down with that. I could see that. It definitely does make a change. It's good. I think we were meant in life to interact with the animal kingdom. So that's just me. But I know those people hate animals and want nothing to do with them. And I know there's the groups out there that think any type of keeping any animal is somehow against animal welfare and rights. But honestly, they just don't understand. And I would never force somebody who hates animals to keep one, or to have one or to interact with one. But for me, having that connection just makes all the difference. And well, these pythons, I'm of the school of thought that they don't really love me or give two shits about me for the most part. They are a very big calming factor, I know my dog loves the shit out of me, but these guys here, they rely on me. They're relying upon what I'm doing to make sure that they're safe and happy and fed and healthy and all those good things. So, but yeah. All right, guys. But anyway, we've been on this for almost 40 minutes. So I'm going to jump off of here. I'm going to slide over to Patreon, talk over there a little bit about the special coming up and how that's going to look. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Oh, I missed a lot of comments. There we go. Okay. Call back up, I think. All right, guys. Thank you all so much. We're going to slide up off of here, and we will catch you all on Patreon. Thank you.